let's talk about the new talent trees. The Dragonflight reveal gave us a great look at some of the coming changes, and Towley's comment about 10.0 being different seems to be pretty accurate. There have been multiple blue posts, articles, and interviews talking about the new talent system, so here's a look at everything we know so far, or as much as I can find with my limited Google search ability. As a balanced druid, I am the most important class, and clearly Blizzard agrees, as the preview we got was the balanced druid talent tree, as well as the less important resto druid tree. So most notably, they've scrapped the talent system we got back in Mists and reverted it to a more vanilla-inspired tree system, but split into class and spec trees. We get talent points back starting at level 10.
Just like the good old days.
With 31 for your class tree and 30 for your spec tree at the max level of 70. And you'll get points in a specific order, not just alternating as you level. Some of the top row talents unlock automatically based on your spec, so if I were to guess here, a balanced druid would unlock Sunfire and Starfire, while a resto druid might unlock Rejuvenation and Swiftmend. No idea about Feral, but I guess the three people who main Feral can argue between themselves. The talent nodes have a couple of different shapes, which are circles for passives, squares for active abilities, and octagons with arrows as a choice between at least two, if not more, different abilities. Basically a smaller version of what we have now. And the diamonds are a mechanic that Blizzard has said they're no longer planning on using. The word passives might bring fears of flat stat bonuses, but they've said they want them to be a little bit more impactful, similar to some that we've seen from artifacts, Azerite gear, and conduits. Hopefully they are actually interesting and not just the inner rings of Azerite gear. Looking at the class tree, there's a lot of class-wide utility like CCs and interrupts, as well as some baseline spells to borrow from other specs. This means that some spells will now be on the tree instead of just getting them while leveling. But now we might not take something in favor of combinations we've not had previously, like a resto druid being able to take Typhoon without being locked to an affinity. You can't abandon all your CC in favor of DPS though, as not taking one type of CC will likely mean taking a different one instead. And they've also said that some specs will be getting new utility they've never had before. Keeler interrupts anyone? The spec tree is more focused on your role and similar to our current talents. They do seem to be more throughput focused, as you can see the icons for several legendaries, a conduit, and convoke, but that's not exactly a Where's Waldo spot. Of course, these are the only two specs we can see at the moment, so we'll have to wait until they all come out to be able to spot our favorites and see what gets left behind. The other change from the vanilla style tree is the addition of presets or loadouts. A big shout out to the dev who put this idea forward because it immediately removes the tedious task of re-entering talents every time you need to swap for raid, mythic plus, or PvP. If this was a Shadowlands system, we'd have spent 6 months manually redoing our trees before they finally added it. So good on you, mate, way to promote your philosophy change. They've also said they want to add the functionality to share builds with people like transmog outfits, which would be really cool and make it easy to copy our favorite streamers. Now, Ian has spoken about the intent for these trees to be grown over future expansions, and about how they help with the borrowed power problem in the game. It also means they only have one centralized power system they need to balance against things like tier set bonuses instead of the 7 or 8 systems we had in Shadowlands. This new talent system looks like a lot more fun, and seemingly solves the internal and external problems with borrowed power. I'll leave links to their blue posts in the description, and I would recommend having a read because they're quite interesting. I probably missed a bit here and there, but let me know what you think about the new talent system in the comments. Like and subscribe for more. I'll catch you in the next one.